Hello and welcome back to my craft room and a happy new year. It's the 1st of January 2022 and I'm sure lots of people like me are looking forward to this year with a mixture of kind of slight apprehension and but also a lot of excitement. My head's stuffed full of things that I want to do this year, creative projects that I've got in mind, and I'm going to kick off today by having a go at the Scrawlr challenge for December. So we had, I love the box. We had these metallic markers. It was an exclusive collection to Scrawlr Box, but it's these Spectrum Noir with metallic markers, which are lovely. And we got 3 colours: the copper, the gold and the silver, in 3 different nib sizes. We also got a matte black Posca paint pen, and I got a pink. I think some people got purple jelly roll pen and a Derwent sketching pencil. All of the markers work really well on the little square format pad of black card that we got in the kit, and we got some lovely inspiration from the featured artist this month, whose name I won't even try to pronounce because I'm afraid of getting it wrong. And there's a whole article about them in the Scrawlr zine as well. So the challenge, I do want to, inspired by what the featured artist has done, I definitely want to have a go at some different kinds of doodling, because I think that just looks stunning with these metallic markers on the black. I want to draw a mandala. I tried drawing one from scratch myself. I found a couple of YouTube tutorials to help me do that, so I'm gonna have a go at that over the next few days. I also want to pick up doing Zentangle again, because that's something I used to do a lot more of, and I want to pick up again in 2022, one of the many things. And then just some kind of random floral doodles as well, so I might do sort of a quick speeded up film of all 3 of those over the course of the next week or so. But for the challenge, we were given this phrase, out of the darkness. And I think in lots of ways, anything that you did with these metallic markers against the black could fit out of the darkness, but I wanted to do something a bit more sort of specific. So I've had dragons in my head a lot for another project that I've got that I want to get started on over the next few days. So I've been doing some sort of workup sketches of dragons, and this is a close-up of an eye that I thought would work really well on one of these square black pieces. So I'm going to have to think kind of like in negative, so I'm going to have to draw the light, not the shade. So with, obviously, is that making sense? So yeah, using the pencil on the white paper, I'm drawing in the dark areas. With the metallic pens on the black card, I'm going to be drawing in the light. I have had a little bit, very small, where have I put it? There. Small go with smudging them and blending them and things. So we'll see how we go. All of the markers work really well on the black, and they all, if you let them dry, they will all layer over the top of each other, and if you're quick you can blend them. So and the great thing about having the black Posca pen is that you can kind of use it almost to erase or to add shadow back in where I've lost it. Hopefully that'll make a lot more sense as I go along. So let's stop waffling and have a look at what I've got on my desk. So here's my sketch. I used a bit of tracing paper to just transfer it. You can just see it picking up the light there, just using the sketching pencil that came with the kit, to just get the outline on there. Now I don't know if every single box was the same or if we had more of a random selection, but anyway, in my case, the copper is a 3mm bullet point, the gold is a 4mm chisel point, and the silver is a 0.7, so quite a fine fine liner, just a little fine nib. So I think what I'm going to do is go over the whole outline in the silver first, and then I will start with the lightest areas using my own sketch as a reference, and put this silver in, blend away into the gold, and then do a mixture of the, I think the eye will be mostly golden and with a bit of silver, and then the scaly area will be a mixture of the gold and copper, which I'll try blending together. And what I'm going to try and think about is if the light was kind of coming from here, I'm imagining that he's in a dark cave sleeping on his treasure, this pile of gold. Initially I was thinking of doing the whole dragon or just the kind of snout of the dragon with a claw, but I haven't got room on this little paper, and I usually give it and use a bigger bit of paper, but that would just take a really long time, I think. So yeah, so I'm imagining that this is the dragon is sleeping in a dark cave, and someone shone a light in, and it's just woken up the dragon. He's opened one eye, and I will just try to think about where the light would reflect off of all these scales. But I think I'm just going to need the outline to give me something to go on. So I'm going to outline it all in the silver, and then I might want to take some of that outline out. But if that's the case, I can use the Posca paint pen to take it out again. So this I'm totally never tried anything like this, and no idea how well I'm going to be able to make it work. But I'm going to stop talking now and do a speeded up version and then a waffle over. Wish me luck, I'm going to need it. So I'm going to start with the silver fine liner, as I said, just to put all that outline in. This was an absolute joy to use this silver against the black background. It's going to be fantastic for Zentangle and my mandala when I get round to it. A lot of these silver lines did end up being taken out again, but it was really helpful just to have that kind of structure to see where I was going. It's not till later on that I realised quite how much this eye was like my old cat Archie. He had amber eyes. I was just showing you there the little cotton buds that I'm using. They're recyclable, sustainable ones made of bamboo, and they were really, really helpful for blending these colours together and just blending the colour out into the black of the background. I've added the highlights there with silver, so using the silver as the lightest colour, and now I'm just adding some gold to the eye and fading it up towards the black, towards the top of the eye where it would be darker. And then now I'm adding in some copper, blending that together with the gold. Yeah, the little cotton buds work really well. The black Posca pen there has a nice matte finish, and I'm just using it to deepen the darkness of the pupil, and then add that darker line above the eye there, and just sort of define the shape. Putting the light part of the lower eyelid in there now with the silver again. And some copper to the inner corner. And I'm just starting with those scales above the eye, just to add the gold to one side and then blend it out towards the other side, so it's lighter where it would be catching that imagined kind of torchlight that I was talking about. So I'm not necessarily going to end up colouring the whole thing in, but just add enough just to give it a bit of form and some sort of indication of texture. I'm adding the copper in there as well, and then blending that out into the gold using that little cotton bud again. Just taking out some of those silver lines now with the black Posca pen, because I don't need them anymore, and I think it just looked better without them. Now I'm using the silver again once that gold has dried to add an extra highlight to the edge of those scales, and all along the bottom as well. Adding some darker line to the top of the eye there. And now starting to add gold and do the same thing with these bigger scales above, a kind of carapace? It's like a carapace, isn't it? And mixing it in with the copper. So if you put them down really quickly while they're still wet, you can blend them together really nicely. I was surprised how well that worked actually. And then a black paint pen to add the shadow underneath, and it's just sort of blacker than the black of the paper, which is quite nice. Adding more black to the darkening up the eye there and sort of tidying up the shape of it a bit, blending it out with that cotton bud again. And same here, you can see I'm adding the silver for an extra highlight. Now when I came to doing this bit here, it's when I started to wish that I wasn't just limited to the supplies in the box, because if I hadn't have been, this sort of, these shapes here were way too fiddly. I would have been getting either finer metallic markers out or perhaps my colour pencils to do this bit. I do think the selection of nib sizes and colours is really fun to play with though. I really enjoyed these. And I'm just using the black Posca pen to try and add some detail to that bit. That wasn't really working very well. I've smudged it out with the cotton bud. Still decided, no, it's not working. And now I'm trying with the pencil just to define the shape a bit. And that worked a little bit better. But as I say, I would have used my colour pencils if I was allowed to. And now I'm just dotting in, using the shape of the markers there to give these kind of scaly shapes. Mixing the gold and the copper and then highlighting with the silver. Just to give some indication of texture. I'm not drawing every scale in, just giving an idea of texture and where it would catch the light. Finishing off those scales at the top there now. Taking out some of the silver lines with the black Posca and then adding a silver highlight to the edges. I must be almost done now, I think. Yeah, just adding a bit of black there to take the silver edges out. Oh, and some little white dots I put on there just to brighten it up a bit. Right, I think that's me done. It was much quicker than I thought that was going to be, and I really enjoy blending with these pens. I love the way that catches the light. If I wasn't doing the challenge and trying to use just these, I probably would have bought my white Posca paint pen in, and I might even be going in and adding some details with colour pencils. But for just a little, quick response to this challenge, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to leave it at that, and I might even, because that was so quick, I might have time to start on my mandala as well, but that's for another video. I'm using my Scrawlr zine as a mouse mat. So yeah, that's my finished what was it? Out of the dark. Oh, it's just reminded me of a lobster now. It's a cross between a lobster and a dragon. And my cat, my old cat Archie, used to look at me like that when I woke him up, and he didn't want to be woken. Anyway, quite enough waffling on. I'm gonna couple that together and upload that for my first video of 2022. I've got about 5,000 more ideas to do, so if you like this kind of thing, keep watching. All kinds of other things as well. I started making a list of all the things that I want to do this year, and it's just got a bit out of hand, so I had to stop. Anyway, I hope you're all having a happy start to your 2022. Here's wishing everybody happiness and good health and fun and creativity for this year. And let's focus on the positives. That's my motto. All my New Year's resolutions are not going to be, I'm not even going to call them resolutions. but they're all going to be focusing on the positive. So it's not going to be don't do this and don't do that. It's going to be see if you can get this done and have a go at that, and focus on all the stuff that I love and enjoy and really appreciate. Anyway, thanks very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else comes up with for the Scrawlr challenge. I haven't actually had a chance to have a look yet, so I'm going to have a look around and have a look on Instagram and that and see what everyone else has been doing. So thanks again, and I'll see you again really soon, probably tomorrow. Bye.